out of spray cans. So they started using house paint for their fillings. And then when the house paint ran out, then they started using the screen printing and posting up their tags all over the city. And then they did stickers. Then Cost ends up getting arrested. They take him to jail and they find him, I think this is back in like the 90s or something like that. They find him, either 90s or 2000s. They fine him $500,000, and this is back then for the damage that he did across the city. Now Revs, his partner, doesn't stop there either. He keeps going. What he does is he starts doing revs out of metal, and he starts welding them, you know what I mean, to street poles and shit like that. So graffiti has always been about innovation. Anybody who tells you otherwise doesn't understand the essence of it. Graffiti is always about, you know, like I was saying earlier, how do you quantify something that's infinite? Graffiti is infinite. Graffiti has infinite forms of creativity. How do you, like, I'm saying, like, I hate nothing more than young idiots coming in the game and thinking graffiti has to be this way, or old idiots, you know what I mean, saying the only way your graffiti is if you do your bubble letters like this and you do Cheech Wizard and you gotta write this style, and that's bullshit. You know what I mean? I'm just being honest about it, and don't get me wrong, I respect them for keeping their form alive, but to push that on other people, I don't think is correct, because art is a personal thing.
But it's like the art. It's like the public don't see. The public see that like some of the big graffiti productions are a different thing from tagging. They think they're two different things, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of graffiti artists who do those two productions kind of like act like they're two different things. Yeah. But they're actually part of the whole chain of being of graffiti. You've got to. You can't separate them out.
That's right.
So, how would you say that?
How would I say what?
Well,
what's the question?
The same kind of thing. I mean, about the link between the two, about how essential they are, that you can't separate them out and just say, well, that's nasty, untidy graffiti, but this is the real, nice stuff.
What, do I separate it?
Yeah, no, what do you think of people who do? I mean...
Oh, I think... the same people who do, a lot of them see Banksy as the greatest graffiti writer ever. So, you know what I mean? That speaks for itself. Yeah. Those are people who only know about Banksy, most of them. Yeah. And they really don't have a full understanding. And I'm not taking anything away from Banksy, but what I'm saying is anybody who's either written or looks or thinks or just opens their mind realizes that he's just one speck of sand, you know what I mean? There's so much prolific writers, you know what I mean? And yeah, but to a degree, I understand why people do it, but like I said, I'm old school. I come from before that line was drawn. Right. For people to say, okay, this is good to put in the gallery, and this shit is whack. We don't like that around here. I don't like tagging, or I don't like graffiti. Graffiti's bad, you know what I mean? But street artists, oh, look how great it is, because it's profound and we could put it in the Louvre, or you know what I mean? It just gets ridiculous. And, that to me is status, classism, you know what I mean? It's just, really and truly, it's a real low form of discrimination, or to try to attach value to something in order to try to control something. I heard something about this guy who had a gallery, and if this guy is one of the biggest idiots ever, he said that graffiti art has no merit. It's not even real art. And for this fool to say something like that, it was just mind-boggling. Because here we have one of the most prolific art forms of any. I'm talking about there's been no movement like graffiti art in my lifetime. Do you get what I'm saying? And I haven't heard about anything like that except for like thousands of years back. Graffiti is a humongous movement right now, and it's continuing to develop itself. And it was born out of hip hop. And for this idiot to say something like that, he's sitting in his gallery, and he's recognizing that his stuff isn't selling anymore. He's recognizing that the public has already advanced past that. Do you see what I'm saying? That they're seeing something in the street, something that's present, something that's happening, something that's speaking to the people now. And he's like, oh shit, My bank account isn't where it should be. So I'm going to try to discredit it. But the good thing about graffiti is graffiti doesn't need idiots like that to prop it up. Graffiti is its own thing. You see what I'm saying? It doesn't need that. And that's why what he said is such a stale statement. Basically, he just wanted somebody to throw him one of those life donuts or something. You know what I mean? But graffiti, look how much impact graffiti has made. It speaks for itself.
One of these writers who does the big productions in Brighton was saying, yeah, we've had like really good 4 or 5 years, but now you've got all these idiots. This is the word, idiots.
Yeah.
Going out tagging and bombing.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, but you were one of those idiots once as well.
Yeah. But that's always the nature of it, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's always the nature of it. That's a lot. You know what they say. A lot of times, when people don't like something in other people, it's because they see themselves in that person. Yeah?
Yeah.
Psychologically, that's what it is. A lot of people see themselves and they probably hate themselves or hate what they used to be, so now they hate these individuals. But don't get me wrong, you do have a lot of young knuckleheads or older knuckleheads running around and acting stupid. I'm not denying that. But what I'm saying is, like, not everybody's like that. Not everybody's like that. A lot of those dudes, you know what I mean, they deserve respect because they're putting work in. You can see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, can you say about how you learn your creativity, how the creative force came from tagging, from destruction in a way, that it's the phase that you have to go through? Can you describe how tagging is a necessary kind of step on the road to becoming an artist? You know.
Well, you've got tagging is one of the most important. We're looking at graffiti. Graffiti, aside from the bullshit, graffiti is a form of communication. Let's be realistic. Graffiti is a form of communication. It's a way of spreading the message. It's a language. The written word is one of the main universal languages. You know what I mean? Understanding symbols in the written word in order to get your point across. So, just like usually before people develop a 3D perspective of something, like trying to draw somebody's face, usually children start with things like stick figures and shapes. You see what I'm saying? Well, tagging is exactly the same in the graffiti world. You know what I mean? It's the stick figure of graffiti. It's the bones. So once you master the bones, then you can put muscles. You see what I'm saying? You could put muscles. You could put flesh. You see what I'm saying? You could put iron, whatever you want to put on it. You know, once you have the structure. So now tagging is the structure. So that's one of the main things that you should develop. Because tagging is the foundation. Understanding the letter form is the foundation of mastery. And some people graffiti is all about morphing that. Who can do the S the craziest way? You see what I'm saying? Who could do whatever letters? Who could do, you know what I mean? So graffiti and tagging is crucial. Some people, see, just like anything else, let's just say you got stages. You could start at stage 1 in tagging. But also you could take tagging to stage 10 where you can do it with skinny to fat lines. Do you see what I'm saying? In forms, you could do script, you could do calligraphy, you could color it in, you could do 3D, you could do pieces. You see what I'm saying? So you start at a certain level, but you could take it so much more. You know what I mean? But it's good to practice tagging.
That's where it all came from. So you got tags, and then you got throw ups, bubble letters, 3D, color. You know, that was the whole. That's where it all came from, isn't it?
That's right.
From the tag story.